Hello, humans. So many of you have been asking, how am I feeling? This is now 7 days after I ended my 7-day water fast, which ended a day and a half earlier than anticipated. Um, there's a couple of things that I've learned from doing that. The first thing, and I want to share it with you, the first thing that I've learned is that my relationship with food was unhealthy. And like, if you look at it, we live in a world where everything is centered around food. When when you go to an event, there's food. When you are celebrating something, there's food. When you are watching a movie, there's something to eat. When you are bored, there's food. For me, anyway, it bordered on addiction because I would stand up and I would just go to the cupboard to see if there was something there, even if the cupboard is empty. And during the water fast, I would still open the cupboard knowing that I'm not going to eat anything. And now that I'm seeing it in hindsight, it was like borderline gluttony almost, you know? Um, and I would snack a lot. So between meals, I would have a chocolate. Then that's now between breakfast and lunch, and then between lunch and supper, I would have a packet of crisp, and another piece of chocolate, and maybe an apple or a banana. Then after supper, there would be some small nibbling snacks, maybe some crisp or some nuts or something, And I don't know if you know, but when you snack, okay, your body needs time to process the food that you eat. So it would process the food, and if you snack, it halts digestion on what you had before, the meal you had before, let's say breakfast. It halts digestion there. And then that food sits there in your bowels and it rots. And it turns the food into poison. So my relationship with food was unhealthy. That's something that the 7-day water fast definitely taught me. Um, then, when the second thing that I learned is that a lot of the food that we eat is really poison to our bodies. After I started eating food again, I woke up feeling tired. My body was sore here and there because I had hot chocolate now at night before bed. I had a sweet here, a chocolate there. I did try and keep to just the normal meals, but after supper, the hot chocolate thing. So I would wake up tired, and then I decided I don't want this anymore. My body felt great during the water fast. Now this is before it started breaking my muscles down for fuel. It felt great. My sleep was excellent. I woke up feeling energized. I could focus for extended periods of time. It was amazing. I miss it actually. Um, some of the things that I learned was that your body has, because it's not working to digest the food, it has time to heal itself, to process all the toxins and get rid of the toxins. Because it's almost as if the food that we're eating now is poison to our bodies, even vegetables, because it increases inflammation in order to break the food down. Now, if we keep stuffing food down into our body doesn't have time to properly process the food and turns to toxins, goes and sits in our joints, in our muscles, in our cells, everywhere. It, it, it doesn't feel good. So the second thing that I learned is that our food is poison, and I am now, you can't, I don't want to say it's impossible, but I don't want to turn into Brian Johnson. For those of you who know Brian Johnson he's doing a study on himself, and he studies exactly what happens to his body and his organs when he eats wrong, because when he doesn't exercise, when he doesn't move, when he doesn't sleep right, because he's trying to reverse the aging process. Brian Johnson is 50 something and the dude looks 22. Okay, he looks a little artificial because, yeah, who can live like that to that extreme? But anyway, my point is, I am going to limit the amount of um, poison I put in my body. You know, I don't want to go back to feeling sluggish and lethargic and barely living because my body is trying to process the toxins that I put in it. And that brings me to the third thing that I learned during my water fast, or I would say after. I don't want to eat a mathematical equation. Go to something that you eat, a packet of Doritos, a chocolate maybe, a cold drink. In the ingredients, you'll see water, sugar, etc., blah, 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 glucose, and then you'll see a whole bunch of E numbers. When I studied calculus and algebra in school, E was there as a variable. It's a number that means nothing. It's not real. Well, I guess it is real, but you know what I mean. I don't know what all these E's equal to. The additional, I just know that the sum of all those is equal to poison that I'm putting in my body, and I don't want that anymore. So I will be limiting the amount of stuff that I put into my body. So if I don't know what it's made out of, I'm not gonna have it. We had pancakes the other night, and I like pancakes with chocolate or with caramel, but I didn't have the chocolate because it's got a whole lot of E's. I had cinnamon and sugar. Because I know what sugar is made out of, it's made out of sugar. I know what cinnamon is made out of, it's made out of cinnamon. I know the pancakes were made out of milk, flour, eggs, and a little bit of sugar. So I don't want to eat a mathematical equation, so I'm not going to. And the final thing that I learned is I love my body. It does a lot to facilitate my living. And it's endured a lot of abuse over the years. And it carried it well. That doesn't mean that I have to keep punishing it, keep poisoning it. I don't want to do that anymore. I love my body, so I'm going to take care of it so that I can live a more full and experience a more abundant life. And those are the four things that I learned. If I could encourage anybody to do it, and you know, I see nowadays you must say if you give any sort of advice. This is not medical advice. All I can suggest to you is try fasting. It's magnificent. It After 3 days, your bowel has reset and it's healed. Your dopamine has reset. You can focus. After 5 days, systemic stem cells are released, and it goes and it heals the broken parts in your body. Do it. So tell me in the comments if you've learned anything from following along on my journey. Let me know if you are going to try. Let me know if you want to talk to me and find out uh, how to go about it, what you need to start, or even just to get some encouragement from me. Message me on Instagram. My email address is also in my profile description. So send me a message. Share this video if you found it useful. Like it, comment, and subscribe if you want to continue on this journey of seeing and figuring out what it means to truly be a human together with me.